Syria, a land steeped in history, has witnessed the rise and fall of empires. From the ancient civilizations that flourished in Mesopotamia to the grandeur of the Ottoman Empire, Syria's strategic location at the crossroads of civilizations has profoundly shaped its destiny. This land has been a melting pot of cultures, ideas, and conflicts for millennia. From ancient Mesopotamia to the Ottoman Empire, its strategic location at the crossroads of civilizations has shaped its destiny. The remnants of these bygone eras still stand today, whispering tales of glory and conquest, of trade and cultural exchange. Syria's history is a testament to its enduring significance in the region. In recent times, Syria has been synonymous with the iron-fisted rule of the Assad dynasty. The Assad family has left an indelible mark on the nation's modern history, shaping its political landscape with an iron grip. Hafez al-Assad, a ruthless leader, seized power in 1970, ruling with an iron fist for 3 decades. His reign was marked by strict control, political repression, and a focus on maintaining stability through authoritarian means. His leadership style set the tone for the future of Syria. His son, Bashar al-Assad, inherited this legacy in 2000, initially promising reform and openness. Bashar, who was trained as an ophthalmologist in London, seemed to offer a glimmer of hope for a more progressive Syria. However, the reality of his rule soon diverged from these early promises. His rule descended into brutal repression and a devastating civil war, leaving an indelible mark on Syria and its people. The uprising in 2011, part of the broader Arab Spring, was met with violent crackdowns, leading to a prolonged and bloody conflict that has ravaged the nation. The story of Bashar al-Assad is one of power, tragedy, and the resilience of the human spirit. It is a narrative that intertwines personal ambition with national catastrophe, highlighting the complexities of leadership in a volatile region. His transformation from an ophthalmologist in London to a dictator clinging to power amidst a shattered nation is a tale that has captivated the world. Bashar's journey from a seemingly reluctant leader to a figure of international controversy underscores the unpredictable nature of political power. Understanding Assad's rise and fall requires delving into the complexities of Syrian society, the dynamics of regional politics, and the consequences of unchecked authoritarianism. The interplay of these factors has created a unique and tragic chapter in the history of the Middle East. This essay will explore the key events that defined Bashar al-Assad's reign, from his unexpected ascension to power to his eventual downfall. We will examine the pivotal moments and decisions that have shaped Syria's recent history, offering insights into the challenges and complexities of leadership in a nation fraught with turmoil. Bashar al-Assad's path to power was far from preordained. Unlike many leaders who are groomed from a young age, Bashar's journey was marked by unexpected twists and turns. Born in 1965, he was the second son of Hafez al-Assad, a man who had risen through the ranks of the Syrian Air Force to become the undisputed ruler of Syria. Hafez's journey to power was one of determination and strategic acumen, setting a high bar for his children. While his elder brother, Basil, was being groomed for leadership, Bashar pursued a career in medicine, studying ophthalmology in Damascus and London. His life seemed destined for a different path, one far removed from the political arena. However, fate had other plans. In 1994, Basil died in a tragic car crash, thrusting Bashar into the spotlight. This sudden loss changed the course of Bashar's life forever. Recognizing the urgent need for a successor, Hafez recalled Bashar to Syria. He began preparing him for the presidency, a role Bashar had never anticipated taking on. This unexpected turn of events placed Bashar on a trajectory he had never anticipated. He had to quickly adapt to his new role and the immense responsibilities that came with it. To prepare for his future role, Bashar received military training and was appointed as head of the Syrian Computer Society. This move was aimed at modernizing Syria's image and integrating technology into its governance. When Hafez al-Assad died in 2000, Bashar, at the age of 34, inherited the mantle of leadership. His ascent to power was both swift and unexpected, marking a significant shift in Syria's political landscape. His ascent was swift and calculated, ensuring the continuity of the Assad dynasty. Bashar had to navigate the complexities of leadership while maintaining the legacy of his father. This marked the beginning of a new chapter in Syria's history, one that would be defined by both hope and despair. Bashar's leadership would come to symbolize a new era, filled with challenges and opportunities for the nation. Bashar al-Assad's accession to the presidency was initially met with cautious optimism. He presented himself as a reformer, a stark contrast to his father's autocratic style. He embraced technology, allowed private internet cafes to open, and released some political prisoners. This period, known as the Damascus Spring, offered a glimmer of hope for political and economic liberalization. However, beneath the surface of these reforms lay the entrenched power structures of the Syrian state. The Mukhabarat, the ubiquitous secret police, continued to operate with impunity. Political dissent was stifled, and any genuine challenge to the regime's authority was swiftly crushed. The Damascus Spring proved to be short-lived, a mere facade masking the Assad regime's true nature. Bashar, despite his initial promises, was proving to be a chip off the old block, consolidating power and silencing any opposition. The year 2011 marked a turning point in Syria's history. It was a year that would forever change the lives of millions of Syrians. Inspired by the Arab Spring uprisings sweeping across the region, Syrian citizens took to the streets demanding political freedom and an end to corruption. They were filled with hope and determination, believing that change was within their grasp. What began as peaceful protests were met with brutal force by the Assad regime. The government's response was swift and merciless, aiming to crush any dissent. Security forces fired upon demonstrators, killing and injuring countless civilians. The streets, once filled with hopeful chants, were now stained with blood and echoing with cries of pain. This marked the beginning of the Syrian civil war, a conflict that would engulf the country in unimaginable violence and humanitarian suffering. The initial cries for freedom turned into desperate pleas for survival. The Assad regime, determined to maintain its grip on power, unleashed a campaign of terror against its own people. No one was spared from the regime's wrath. Barrel bombs, indiscriminate airstrikes, and chemical weapons became horrific hallmarks of the conflict. These brutal tactics left a trail of devastation and fear. Cities like Aleppo and Homs were reduced to rubble, their once vibrant streets transformed into ghostly reminders of the war's brutality. The destruction was so extensive that it seemed as if time itself had stopped. The international community watched in horror as the death toll mounted and millions were displaced from their homes. Refugee camps swelled with those seeking safety, but the suffering continued. The Syrian civil war became a stark reminder of the human cost of unchecked authoritarianism. The world bore witness to the immense suffering and the resilience of the Syrian people. As the conflict in Syria escalated, international intervention became inevitable. Countries around the world were drawn into the turmoil, each with their own agendas and strategic interests. The consequences of these interventions were profound and far-reaching. Civilian casualties mounted and the humanitarian crisis deepened. The balance of power shifted repeatedly, creating a complex and volatile situation on the ground. In the midst of this chaos, Bashar al-Assad's regime faced both external pressures and internal challenges. The international community grappled with the question of how to address the Syrian crisis, weighing the risks and potential outcomes of their actions. The intervention, while intended to stabilize the region, often led to unintended consequences, further complicating an already dire situation. Under Bashar al-Assad's rule, Syria has faced immense challenges. The nation, once a beacon of culture and history, now finds itself in a fragile state. Civil unrest, economic turmoil, and international isolation have all taken their toll. The social fabric of Syria is fraying and the future remains uncertain. The civil war marked a significant turning point in Syria's fate. What began as peaceful protests quickly escalated into a brutal conflict. The government's harsh crackdown on dissent only fueled the flames of rebellion. International powers, each with their own agendas, got involved, further complicating the situation. The war has left deep scars on the nation, both physically and emotionally. Imagining a post-Assad Syria brings both challenges and opportunities. Rebuilding the nation will be a colossal task, requiring unity, resilience, and international support. The people of Syria, despite their suffering, have shown remarkable strength. There is hope that with the right leadership and a commitment to peace, Syria can rise from the ashes and rebuild a brighter future. Through all the trials and tribulations, the enduring spirit of Syria shines through. The rich cultural heritage, the indomitable will of its people, and the dream of a peaceful and prosperous nation remain alive. Syria's story is one of resilience and hope, a testament to the human spirit's capacity to endure and overcome. The journey ahead is long, but the spirit of Syria remains unbroken.